Hello everybody and welcome into Cox Mill High School here in Concord, North Carolina, as we get set to get started as the Lake Norman Copperheads are taking on the Mooresville Spinners. My name is David Katzenmeyer. Accompanying me is Zane Metz today. Zane, how are you feeling about our game so far?
You know, I'm super excited. This is still a top-of-the-table clash right here. These two teams met on Friday night. It's another battle. Spinners came out on top the first time. We'll see what happens tonight.
So the Spinners coming into this one at 14-5, standing atop the standings. The Lake Norman Copperheads coming in at 10-9 in the SCBL in third place. So both these squads looking to get wins to try and lengthen their stretch between the opposing teams in the SCBL. So with the season winding down, we only have about a week left. What are some of your keys to this game for both these squads?
We'll have two keys to this game. One is just start out early. If you can start out early, get a lead, have your pitcher some cover when you go out there. You'll also have a longer leash as a coach. Say, hey, I can keep my guy out there a little longer if you give him a 5 or 6 run lead. Also wear the other team down, especially if you're the Spinners. Lake Norman, a little short on pitching tonight, so if you can wear down that pitching staff, make them go late in the counts, have high pitch counts early on.
Getting off the edge of the Spinners, shortstop, number 14, Brandon Butterworth.
So as we get things started, we'll send it down to the field, and we will get rolling. Getting things started is Brandon Butterworth for the Spinners. He will lead off as Thad Lewis delivers his first pitch for the Copperheads tonight, as that one is high and inside for ball one.
Yeah, Thad Lewis, I'm very interested to see how he's going to play tonight. A couple of nights since his last start, Thad Lewis on the season, 19 2/3 inning with a 3.66 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 8 walks, 1 win, 2 losses.
Another high pitch for Lewis, as sending some signals down to the new catcher, Jordan Spearman. His first game in for the Lake Norman Copperheads, as he was one of the late additions to this squad, so we welcome him here into the SCBL. Lining the field tonight for the Lake Norman Copperheads, getting the start at the hot corner is number 29, Zach Will. Shortstop, number 4, Ixarino. Peyton Schubert getting the start at second, and Kyle Whitaker being moved from first over to third base. So that's your infield for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Jackson Taylor is out there in left, Kyrus Dawson is out in right, and Ivan Zambrano covering things down in center field. So a 2-0 count on Brandon Butterworth, as that's another one that rides inside, sends him sliding out of the box.
Yeah, Thad Lewis with some control issues early. I'm interested to see how his new catcher and pitcher work together. Thad Lewis, one thing to look out for is strikeouts. Lots of strikeouts forced in the SCBL in that category.
So Lewis, like you said, having a bit of control issue early. Hoping to get that under wraps here on the 3-0, and that's a nice pitch delivered for a strike. So that'll be his first strike of the night, move us to a 3-1 count.
Yeah, the pitcher-catcher combination is very underrated in baseball. A new catcher has to know and feel what his pitcher wants in big scenarios.
The 3-1 catches the outside edge. Nice frame job there from Jordan Spearman as his work starts early tonight.
And a great job by Thad Lewis battling back in this count. Was down 3-0, 2 straight fastballs, getting back in this count and classing control early after being down 3-0.
So now we'll try the payoff pitch on Butterworth. That ball's going to be grounded into fair territory. It's going to be picked by Zach Will. The fire over to first will be in time. Nice pick from Kyle Whitaker down on first base. It's not his usual spot, but the big frame helps him with his ability down there, and the first out is retired.
Yeah, a very underrated play by Zach Will right there. That was a weird hop. Had to scoop it almost at his ankle, throw it out there, and also a great scoop by Kyle Whitaker.
Now batting for the Spinners, center fielder, number 2, Justin Fox.
Early on.
The center fielder, Justin Fox, steps in at the 2-hole for the Spinners.
Yeah, and this Spinners lineup looks eerily similar to what we saw Friday night. They obviously see, hey, this worked last Friday. It's going to hopefully work again for them.
Swing and a miss on an off-speed delivered by Lewis, so quickly he finds himself ahead in the count, 0-1.
Yeah, and this Lake Norman coaching staff is wanting Lewis to work late in this game, some pitching issues, some depth issues. So if Lewis can run deep in this game, that's going to really help Lake Norman out in the long run.
Another off-speed. This one drops down too low and hits the dirt. So the count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. About 88 degrees right now in Concord. Wind blowing 5 to 10 miles an hour out of left field. It was swirling earlier, getting up to 20 or 25, blowing out. But it's calmed down as the game has gotten started, as that one misses low and away. But the ball's carrying tonight at Cox Mill, so with the short fences, only 355 to center, 315 to the corners. Somebody gets a hold of one, the wind is going to help push it out. Cut on and off the screen. Count evens up at 2-2 on Justin Fox.
And it'll be interesting to see how Spearman plays tonight. All of these guys have mid-season form, have been playing for a month and a half now. Spearman, his first game in a long time since his college season, and he has to get his conditioning back and just sort of rhythm back overall.
Justin Fox currently in a battle with Thad Lewis. As Lewis readies from the belt and delivers the 2-2. Fastball misses high, so the count will run full for the second straight batter. The designated hitter, James Hinson, standing on deck. If you watched the previous game against the Spinners, Hinson had the start over at first base, being moved to the DH spot. That one's going to be put into play over towards the shortstop, Nick Sereno. He'll fire to Kyle Whitaker in time for the second out. So they'll go 6-3 on the second out, and we will get to see the designated hitter, James Hinson, get some swings against Thad Lewis.
Yeah, and if you're Thad Lewis, obviously you like the back-to-back outs to start the night, but you want that pitch count to stay down, battling 3-2 on both of those counts. You want some counts where you get up, 0-1 and be able to throw.
Now batting, designated hitter number 15, James Hinson.
So we're talking with manager Sean Stevens of the Lake Norman Copperheads before this game. Looks like they're going to go Thad Lewis, Grayson Barger, and hopefully that'll end their night. If they do have some depth issues, we will see what they do going later into that bullpen, as the first pitch to Hinson misses high and away. Tyler McPeak, the extra hitter, stands on deck if needed. Second pitch from Lewis. It's a nice breaking pitch that slides over the plate. And the count evens up at 1-1
One of the guys that really intrigued me when you're talking about position players pitching is Wilson Lover. In that doubleheader against the Kingsmen, the first game, he came out and closed that game, went 1-2, then let a guy on base, and got the third out of the inning, and got the save in that game. And in a 9-8 win against the Kingsmen, the second game came in, pitched 1/3 inning, allowed 11 runs. So it was really a tale of two games right there.
I did hear rumors that if needed, he might come into the game, but we shall see. Thad Lewis so far 2 up and 2 down as the 1-2 slides too far into the dirt. The count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Ephus King for the Lake Norman Copperheads, Jaden Hackbarth, no longer with the team, but he was very fun to watch when he was out on the mound.
And it's just something that happens with summer ball. Guys like to go home as they're getting closer to the season. Some of them trying to report to school early. As that ball rides inside on Hinson's going to catch him on the leg. So the Spinners get a man on with 2 away, and we will get to see the extra hitter, Tyler McPeak.
Yeah, and last Friday night, you were talking about all these Spinners guys that went to that showcase game were selected for the All-Star game. And that really shows why the Spinners are in first place. Obviously,
Now batting, the extra hitter number 29 is Tyler McPeak.
every hitter can get you a big hit, get you RBIs, and even home runs.
It's been a tale of two sides for both of these teams. The Spinners started out a bit cold, and the Copperheads started out extremely hot, and both have switched up just a little bit here in the second half of the season as a big swing and a miss from Tyler McPeak to get the at-bat started.
Well, I mean, that's what you're going to expect if you're the Copperheads, where you have guys going home, pitchers, going to the draft or going back home for school ball. When you have a limited rotation, that's going to happen with wins.
Lewis delivers the 0-1. That one's going to be fouled off the plate, so Hinson will have to head back over to first, and the count stands at 0-2. So Lewis trying to make quick work of Tyler McPeak. The catcher, Davis Turner, standing on deck if he were to get a chance to battle in this inning. Everybody shaded pretty regularly along the outfield and the infield. The 0-2, swing and a miss on a high fastball as Thad Lewis strands a runner. And the Spinners go down scoreless in the top of the first. We'll be right back for the bottom of the frame to see if the Copperheads can get on the board and take an early lead here from Cox Mill High School.
For the Spinners.
Welcome back as we get set to start the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off for the Lake Norman Copperheads will be the right fielder, Kyrus Dawson. First pitch misses outside of the zone, so the count will start 1-0.
And one time we say time and time again about Kyrus Dawson is the blazing speed leads the SCBL in stolen bases 11 this year with a 205 average. You can see why he's batting in that leadoff position.
1-0 home is swung on and miss as Graham Brown gets the start for the Mooresville Spinners.
It should be all in order.
So we'll see what Brown has to offer here against the Copperheads, who are fighting for the third place in the SCBL standings. 1-1 home is fouled off against the screen, and there goes our live mic as it flops down to the stones there. So we'll see if we can get that fixed up. So we're it's a work in progress.
Mid-season, but still work in progress, huh? Late season.
Trying to do the best that we can. The 1-2 on Dawson. Breaking pitch misses high and out of the zone. Davis Turner tried to bring it back the best he could, but just a bit too high, and the count evens up at 2-2. Lining the infield for the Spinners at the hot corner will be Kyle Murphy. The shortstop, Brandon Butterworth, lining on the edge of the outfield. The second baseman, Dante DeFranco. And the first baseman, Jeremy Green, as he gets the ball on the pass around after the Kyrus Dawson strikeout. So Graham Brown getting things
Now
started
batting the shortstop, number 4, Ick Serino.
as Ick Serino, the shortstop, due up for the Copperheads.
Yeah, one thing about Brown and this whole Spinners pitching staff as a whole is they've been one of the best in the league. Had that combined no-hitter earlier this season. And just overall, game in and game out, they've been very formidable for hitters to face.
So Serino, who's been in that leadoff spot, bumped down to second as he watches a first pitch breaking ball slide in there for a strike. Lining the outfield for the Mooresville Spinners, getting the start out and left is Trey Putman. Out and right is Hunter Bryson. And keeping things locked down in center field is Justin Fox. So the 0-1 home is popped up. Skied very high out towards left field. Calling for it is the left fieldman, Trey Putman, and he has it for out number 2. So quickly 2 away as the designated hitter, Luke Wood, will stand in and try to get something started with 2 away.
Yeah, Luke Wood, a late addition to this Lake Norman ball club. So only at 16 at-bats, a 3.13 average with 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 walk, and 1
Now batting the DH, number 24, Luke Wood.
Addition to this team, but a very good addition for this ball club.
Last game he started over at third base, and so a couple different moving pieces for the Copperheads as they try to find their finalized lineup heading into the end of the season. As first pitch goes for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Standing on deck if needed is the left fielder Jackson Taylor. The 0-1 is a breaking pitch that just slides too low. Had some nice east to west movement on it, but was just a bit too low down in the dirt. So Brown will work out of the stretch as he readies for the 1-1. The kick and the delivery home as that one is popped up into foul territory, and it will be playable. As we'll see what's going on over there. It looks like
Hit someone.
I hope nobody got hit by that baseball.
we're going to see they're calling somebody over, as it looked like it could have been a possibility that the first baseman, Jeremy Green, might have run into the fencing as he tried to make the play.
Hopefully Green is okay. Just so much hustle in that play right there. Just wasn't aware where that fencing is, and that can get you sometimes.
Yeah, unique dugouts here at Cox Mill High School, as you can't really see them on the camera. However, it's an interesting fencing. I'm not sure I've seen too much like it, but it's almost a full body screen with a bench on it that guards the dugout. So it's a ground level dugout, but just the screen to guard.
Yeah, it's a ground level dugout, but it kind of has the underground feel. He can just stand up there and run on the fencing. Looks like Green got up. Hopefully he's okay and can stay in this ball game.
So some claps from the fans and some claps up here, as it's great to see everyone okay walking back out onto the field. So always a scary sight to see managers and players calling for people over, but thankfully we avoided the worst here tonight, and we can get back to some good baseball action with everybody in healthy condition.
You know, you hate for players to get hurt. Luckily, he was okay right there, especially in summer ball. And these
Yeah,
guys are just having fun. It's happened sometimes this year, and it's just unfortunate to watch.
It really is. It's unfortunate, especially when these guys are trying to tune up. Maybe they're trying to go to a different school or just trying to be better, and they end up getting injured, and then their season for college is in jeopardy. Nice breaking pitch, just misses outside the zone. So the count evens up at 2-2 as Graham Brown resumes play on our batter, Luke Wood.
Yeah, Luke Wood, that one was really close right there. Wood lucky to still be in the box.
The 2-2 home to Wood. Swung on and foul. That one heads up over the press box and behind us onto the grassy berm. So the count remains at 2-2. Jackson Taylor is actually mic'd up tonight, so that will not be live on the broadcast. However, tune into the SCBL Baseball Instagram and the Lake Norman Copperheads Instagram to see some fun videos of the guys for the Copperheads getting mic'd up. I know the Spinners have already done a mic'd up session for their team out at Moore Park one day, and that was so much fun to watch. So the Copperheads said, we got to do that too. So some great content coming out of the SCBL, just trying to bring as much fun as we can to summer baseball. The payoff pitch home. Misses outside as Luke Wood draws himself a walk. Great at-bat from Wood to find himself standing on first with 2 away, and that now brings up the left fielder, Jackson Taylor.
Yeah, Jackson Taylor did pick up game last time that he played the Spinners. 3 RBI night in that loss on Friday night. So far this season has been amazing. A 405 average, 15 hits, 1 home run, 12 RBIs.
There's no doubt that's why he's in the 4-hole right now. First pitch from Brown is fouled on over the screen and down the third base line. So the count will get started 0-1. Standing on deck if needed is the catcher Jordan Spearman, who looks to make his first debut for the Lake Norman Copperheads in the batter's box. Brown gives the nod, runner will go, swing and a miss, and the throw down to second will not be in time. Luke Wood will be standing in at second base with a double, or excuse me, with the steal. He found a way to second base somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke Wood right there, second stolen base of the year. And just want to say, what a great at-bat Luke Wood had. Keep battling off pitchers and make the pitcher really work for him, and he eventually got on first base.
Well, the stolen base is successful. The hit and run was not. So the count stands at 0-2 on the left fielder, Jackson Taylor. Watches a fastball go high. Brown is trying to get him to chase up and out of the zone. Taylor did not bite. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Copperheads looking to strike with a man standing on second. The 1-2 home. Off speed outside. So Taylor trying to work his way back into this count. Now evens up at 2-2. Luke Wood stands out on second. Reached on a walk and a stolen base. The 2-2 is fouled against the screen. It's a very similar pitch to the first 0-2 with the fastball high and outside. Taylor strikes at this one. Sends it against the screen. So the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Spinners in the similar jerseys that they had the other night with the teal and the black and white linings. The Copperheads in the all whites with the black accents. Throw going back to second. It's going to be high into center field. Justin Fox wraps it up. And no run down to third from Luke Wood. It would have been a close play if he tried to get there, but I don't think anybody on this team with that speed would have had it at third.
You know, Jackson Taylor making another great at-bat, just like Luke Wood, really making Brown work for it in this inning.
So Brown centers his attention back to home plate. Fires a fastball at the shins of Taylor, and the count runs full. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit, blowing out of left field. Just something to keep an eye on as the night goes on, as during BP, balls were flying out of this ballpark left and right. The 3-2 home. Beautiful breaking pitch for a called strike 3. Graham Brown ends the inning with 2 strikeouts, and the Copperheads strand a man down on second base. We'll be right back for the start at the top of the second to see if the Spinners can grab a lead here from Cox Mill High School.
Lake Norman is dominating first, so no runs and no hits.
And welcome back, everybody, for some more
Yeah, man.
SCBL baseball action. Up
Number
first,
one,
sitting
Davis Turner.
for the Mooresville Spinners is the catcher, Davis Turner. Back on the mound for second inning of work is Thad Lewis.
Lewis, after some control issues early, got it going, retiring 3 straight. As the first pitch goes high to our new batter, Davis Turner.
Yeah, due up this inning for the Spinners is the catcher, Davis Turner, first baseman Green, and then Hunter Bryson in the 7-hole. That's your 1, 2, 3 for this inning. And that one misses. So we've seen some control issues at the start of both innings tonight for Thad Lewis. We're still very early on in this game.
So needing to find a nice little rhythm here to get things going. He found one in the top of the first. We'll see what he can do here on the 2-0.
And that one just misses low. That one was right in the middle of the plate, just a little low for the umpire's liking. So we'll see the batter, Davis Turner, here in a favorable hitter's count.
Very good selection of pitch there from Thad Lewis. Just missed outside.
3-0 from Lewis, and that one will be low just like the pitch before. So Davis Turner will take a 4-pitch walk and stroll over to the first base. So Lewis will have to deal with a runner on early in this inning.
First walk issued by Thad Lewis.
Now batting for the
Base runner
Spinners,
on
the first baseman,
for
number
the
5,
Spinners.
Jeremy Green Jr.
James Hinton got on in the previous inning with 2 away after a hit by pitch.
And that's something to look at after for Thad Lewis. This is his second runner that he's allowed on base or free, one by hit by pitch and then one by a walk right there. So that comes with a lot of strikeouts he has as well. And that one will go for a strike. Good frame right there from Jordan Spearman behind the plate. And you can really hear the live mic right there. That was a nice pop of the glove.
Great to see Green back up and battling too after his collision with the dugout wall. So great to see him back up standing and swinging the bat.
And Thad Lewis with 2 great fastballs on the outside part of the plate, and Green will be down 0-2 in this count. Turner still standing there at first. So Lewis will get the sign from Spearman. Spearman setting up on the outside part of the plate. And Green wanted to bite at that one, but just held up in time. So he'll stay alive for another pitch.
It's a very, very nice chase pitch from Thad Lewis. When you're just trying to paint the outside edge of the zone with, if you clip it and get a call strike 3, great. If it's a little too far outside, it's enticing for the batter, and you can end up getting a strikeout either way.
1-2 from Lewis. Now he ground down the third base line. Foul ball, so the count will stay at 1-2.
The camera's back.
We'd love for you guys to join us in the live chat here. I'm pulling it up on my phone at the moment, so please drop some questions. We'd love to read anything you guys have, or any suggestions you have for us, or just anything in general. If you have anything that you'd like to drop, just let us know, and we might read it on the broadcast.
Turner spits on another pitch down that third base line, so seeing these balls a little early, back-to-back pitches. They're just staying alive.
Lewis going back-to-back off-speed there. It'll be interesting to see what he does here on the 1-2 coming back. Trying to get a couple chase pitches, and so starting to see him a little bit better is Green.
Green with that open stance. And that is strike 3. Thad Lewis gets his second strikeout of the night. And adds to his tally, that's his 22nd of the year.
2 of the last 3 have gone down by the
Now
count.
batting to the center, the right fielder, number 19,
As we'll see what
Hunter
he can do
Bryson.
against the right fielder, Hunter Bryson, with 1 man on and 1 man away.
And Bryson, has been mentioning in last Friday's broadcast, and former member of the Copperheads, was part of that team last season. One of the key outfielders, him and J.D. Rock, really roamed that outfield all season for the Copperheads.
Thad Lewis's first throwback over to first base, just checking on the runner, Davis Turner over there, making sure he's not going anywhere.
Oh pitch from Lewis. Low, good job blocking it up right there from Spearman. Get some action earlier in this ball game.
If you are joining us again, if you've been here before, let us know what you think of the additions. We thought throwing the face cam on would be nice, and we've got the live mic running down there to try to get the pop of the glove or the smack off the barrel.
Spearman just tried to frame that one, but the umpire calling his bluff and calls it a ball. Some pitches you can hear the live mic a lot better. So Lewis down in the count, 2-0. Spearman not able to corral that one. And he will have to deal with a runner in scoring position and also down in the count 3-0. As we've seen, Lewis down in counts 3-0, 2-0 a lot tonight, but been able to battle back. Euro similar to what Phoenix Giacomo did a couple nights ago, down in a lot of counts, then was able to battle back.
Best opportunity for either team so far tonight. 3-0 count with man standing down on second base. So Bryson in a golden situation here. We'll see how Lewis adapts.
And that was a good fastball right there. Spearman calling a fastball right there, just really want to have a get-back pitch, get back into this count, and just have a reliable pitch. Bryson now with the green light looking for a ball. 3-1 pitch to Bryson. And that one just misses outside. So we've seen kind of 50-50 with those outside fastballs. Some have been beautiful and just flipping the edge, and the umpire called them for even strike 3 sometimes, and then one like that calls it ball 4. So it just really depends on where the catcher's spotting up, or if the left or right-handed batter for the umpire tonight.
So we see on the second base,
number 3, Dante DeFranco.
Due up for the Spinners. Batting in the 8 hole, so the Spinners making their way to the top of the order looming.
Yeah, both teams electing to use that EH tonight. Copperheads not doing it very regularly, but the Spinners doing it on a night-to-night basis, so both teams will be batting 10. Something to look out for if you're watching the broadcast.
Lewis with a nice breaking pitch that had some good movement on it, but just misses too far inside. So he'll begin the count on DeFranco 1-0.
Yeah, DeFranco with that open stance, but when he closes the stance, it's very close into the inside part of the plate. And that one lined for the shortstop. We'll see if they turn 2. They get 1. Can they get DeFranco? They cannot. Whitaker not able to scoop it up, and the Mooresville Spinners will get their first run of the ball game. As that middle infield for the Lake Norman Copperheads was not able to turn 2 right there, and then Whitaker done good so far at first base right there, but it's kind of an awkward hop for him.
Yeah, Schubert over at second base just didn't have the best transfer, trying to force the throw to get the speedy DeFranco quickly, and a mix of a bad throw plus Kyle Whitaker not being too accustomed to playing first base leads to the error.
Third base for number 65, Kyle Murphy.
Yeah, and with spinners up 1-0 and 2 outs in the inning, 1 runner on. Kyle Murphy will step up. Murphy playing third base tonight for Mooresville. Murphy, first pitch of the night he sees is a fastball for a strike. Murphy, we're in 65, a number you don't see very often in baseball.
You know, I love what the spinners do, and they let these boys choose their jerseys and their numbers with these higher numbers. I love to see it.
Murphy fouls that one into the mitt of Spearman. He'll be down on the count 0-2. Lewis 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Lewis not playing around, getting started with this one, wants to get off the bump.
0-2 pitch from Lewis. That one misses high, and Murphy able to lay off that high heat.
I feel like you can see from my facial expression there, that was a good pitch high from Lewis. It was a great job for Murphy not to take.
Runner will be going. Spearman firing down a second. He cannot get him. So Murphy has a little more to play with right here. Down in his last strike, but also a runner in scoring position. So if he can poke a single out to the outfield, a lot more to be played with.
Base knock with the way that this wind is blowing right now. Anywhere with the wind at the back of the ball, and that run's going to be scoring from second.
So Lewis has to deal with the runner on first. 1-2 pitch. That one just misses outside. That fastball flipping the outside part of the plate, but just not outside enough for the umpire's liking.
That's 2 at-bats this inning that Lewis has gone to the outside off-speed, trying to either catch the clip or get the batter to chase, to no avail in both pitches.
And here the doing from the live mic, really good right there. That woke us up in the earphones.
I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it.
And Murphy saw that high fastball right there, chase on it. Lucky he got some barrel to it. Just saw that high fastball, and it can look like a balloon ball for some hitters, just really sitting on it and reached on that one.
It was a bit of a safety swing as well, because I don't think Murphy could tell if that ball was going to be a fastball and stay high, or if it was going to have some 12-6 movement on it.
So we'll try the 2-2 once again. That one blocked up by Spearman, so Murphy, great job battling back in this count from 0-2 to 3-2.
He has done a phenomenal job selecting his pitches and knowing what Lewis has done so far. I mean, Lewis, he's not been super repetitive, but you could definitely tell that Murphy's been watching Lewis on the mound before this at-bat.
3-2 pitch. That one inside, and Murphy works himself a beautiful at-bat right there, making Lewis really work for it. And has to walk the second batter of the inning.
So the left fielder, Trey Putnam, with 2 away. Now the man in charge.
Now batting left fielder, number 33, Trey Putnam.
And one thing to note is these teams have obviously played each other a lot of times, though. So you might have seen the guy 1 or 2 times. Only a 5-team league. Obviously, you play your non-conference games. You play these teams a lot, and you're going to see a couple pitches 1 or 2 times, even 3 times in the summer. Lewis getting back on track right there with the fastball. 1-5 strike. As you can hear the wind really picking up, I saw an umbrella over down the first base side about to fly off as the camera does go off, so we'll give it to you play-by-play on radio style as that one is lined to the second baseman. Schubert will corral it and throw it over to Whitaker at first. The Copperheads get 3 outs in the inning, and Lewis only allows 1, talks into his glove and regretting allowing that 1 stray run. The Copperheads only down by 1 right here at Cox Mill High School. Stick with us for some more SCBL baseball action.
Mike's go.
And welcome back here as Jordan Spearman hits his first action as a Lake Norman Copperhead. Just a little catch you up on Spearman from Catawba Valley Community College, going to his sophomore season, and we're excited to see what he'll do here in Lake Norman.
Absolutely we are, and we welcome him into the SCBL, so glad to see him here as he fouls that one off the glove of the catcher Turner behind the plate.
And one thing I heard manager Sean Stevens saying to Thad Lewis on that hot mic we heard in our ear was just one run doesn't kill us. That's a great message. Can't get down yourself early in a ball game, especially a mistake that your fielder's made. Can't get down yourself and affect that later in your performance. 1-1 pitch. That one will just miss. So Spearman up for the count, 2-1. As we see Brown back out for a second inning of work. Shut him down pretty quickly in that first inning. Allowed that Luke Wood walk, but other than that, was spot on.
Yeah, 2 Ks and a pop out.
As that one goes for a strike, so the count will even up at 2-2.
And both those strikeouts from Kyrus Dawson and Jackson Taylor, both coming on the breaking ball that he's throwing. So that slurve is looking very nice for Brown, especially on the payoff pitches.
And he used it right there, but Spearman will be able to poke it out into center field, grabbed by Justin Fox, but he will take first base right there. And great job from Spearman. 1 at bat, 1 hit. Can't get a much better average than that.
Jordan Spearman with the first hit of the game on either side. So the Copperheads off to a fantastic start. 1 man on, nobody away, as the center fielder Ivan Zambrano now digs in for Lake Norman.
One thing guys are using a wood bat. Not just coming in using a wood bat, obviously you use it in training and stuff, but not in a real game against live pitchers a lot of the time. So getting used to that wood bat and the feel in your hands and how far the ball can go is really a change.
It can definitely be an adjustment. And I think we definitely saw it at the beginning of the year with some of these guys and just their approach at the plate and the way that they swung the bat. But a lot of them have adapted fantastic.
As we see the slurve right there, just missed high. And yeah, some of these guys choking up on the bat a little heavier than they're used to. So it's really, I like to see the little intricacies that these guys have. So Zambrano up the count, 1-0. Spearman looming on first. And he will watch that one go by for a ball. So up in the count, 2-0. Zambrano so far in this SCBL season, 34 at bats with 6 hits, 4 runs, 6 RBIs out of Eastern Florida State College.
I always love to see the little personalities out of the guys, whether it's just a little wiggle or a step or whatever it is.
As he hacks at that slurve right there, and you can see it's on point tonight. That's how Jordan with this pitcher, you just swing at and you just have to appreciate. You can't be mad at yourself. Just I was sitting fastball and you get that slurve.
Well, you're sitting there and you're thinking you're going to make contact with the barrel over the middle of the plate, and all of a sudden it's outside the strike zone. You're sitting there like, well, where'd the ball go?
Brown delivers 2-1. Zambrano pokes that one into right center field. Will that ball get down? It will not. Good job tracking over there by Hunter Bryson, the right fielder tonight for Mooresville. That one kind of an iffy one right off the bat, especially up here. You don't know if that's going to fly a lot farther or just drop right down, but luckily for Mooresville, it dropped right into Bryson's glove.
Well, Zambrano adjusted there. He swung and missed on the
Second baseman, number 8,
Zambrano's ready for it. He knows that 2-strike pitch is going to be coming in the form of an off-speed where it has the last couple batters. So he does the exact same thing that Spearman did, sits on it. This one just ends up in an unfortunate place for the Copperheads.
Yeah, Spearman just sliding under that tag. Up next for the Copperheads is Peyton Schubert, the new addition to the Lake Norman Copperheads, also as well as Spearman out of Edward Waters College, batting .333 and only 6 plate appearances this year for LKN. So with the guys leaving, we also have a lot of new guys in there. Something you really don't see all the time, but obviously LKN, glad that these guys are coming in and much needed help.
It's been almost a revolving door in a sense with some of the guys. But, I mean, that's just how summer ball is. I mean, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes with some of these guys, like we had said before, wanting to go back to college early or injuries, any kind of different reasons to have a revolving door like that. But getting new players in here and seeing new guys that want to compete, especially in such a high-level league like the SCBL, is fantastic to see.
Yeah, and this revolving door has been spinning 1,000 miles per hour at times for Lake Norman. As we see in doubleheaders, the line is completely changing sometimes. As manager Sean Stevens keeping these players on their toes and saying, hey, your spot is not confirmed in this lineup.
Big swing and a miss as the count evens up at 2-2. So 1 man on and 1 away for Lake Norman as they look to tie up the Spinners. If you're just joining us, Mooresville scored in the top of the 2nd inning. And that is how they lead it 1-0.
2-2 pitch from Brown. That one fouled off behind the screen, so the count will stay even. That's one thing with manager Sean Stevens. They say that your spot is not confirmed in the lineup, and you still have to work hard in practice. The few practices that they've had early in the season and then mid-season, with so many games during the weekend, and in games you have to show up to keep your spot, especially later in the SCBL tournament.
You absolutely do.
So we'll try the 2-2 once again. That one misses high, so count runs full.
So nice at bat here.
That's the mighty Kyle Whitaker standing on deck. It'll be interesting to see how he works with 2 runners on if he takes his base. And that'll be a swing and a miss, so Brown gets his 3rd K of the night right there. And Kyle Whitaker will step into the box with 2 outs in the inning now. Whitaker with a 167 average. Say, hey, man, that average is not as good, but there's
The first baseman, number 14, Kyle Whitaker.
as a pitcher, you gotta be scared up there.
And I feel like we repeat ourselves every single time he comes to the plate, but his numbers when he finds himself ahead in the count versus when he's down are completely flip-flop.
That's really the modern power hitter we see in the MLB nowadays. Whitaker swings to that fastball, so he finds himself down early in this count.
Something I noticed that looks a bit different about Whitaker in this at-bat is when he pre-steps, he's got that foot out in front of the batter's box, but then he almost narrows up the feet a little bit as they're almost parallel with the chalk. So it takes a big step when he swings.
Whitaker watched that one go by for a strike and watches in disbelief. And Whitaker with the home run derby power. Obviously, we're at the MLB home run derby tonight in Los Angeles. Who is your favorite for that tonight?
Who is my favorite? I'd love to see Pujols do good.
Yeah?
I don't know if he could take down Alonso in the first round, but I'd love to see Pujols do good.
Yeah. 0-2 pitch to Whitaker. He fouls that one off, and hopefully your TVs or your phone was turned down before that one hit the screen.
And we do apologize. If anything hits the screen right now, you're definitely going to be hearing it.
Yeah.
So we're still working out the kinks of the live mic, trying to find the best location for it. But hopefully you've enjoyed it so far. Once again, if you have any comments, suggestions, anything like that about the game, or just any questions to ask us in general just to spice up the broadcast, please drop them in the comments section on the live chat. We'd love to hear from you.
As Whitaker swings and miss on that breaking pitch, so Brown gets another K. Back-to-back Ks for Brown. And the Spinners keep their 1-0 lead early in this ball game. Stick with us for some more SCBL baseball action.
Third inning for Mooresville. The shortstop, number
We'll go back to
14,
Cox
Brandon
Mill High School
Butterworth.
as Thad Lewis gets ready for his third inning of work and gets to see the shortstop Brandon Butterworth for the second time tonight. First pitch to Butterworth misses on the inside part of the plate, so we get the top of the third started with a 1-0 count. So Butterworth in his first at-bat had a ground out over to third base. So the Spinners, while they lead it 1-0, still looking for their first hit, as that's a nice two-seamer that sneaks in there for a strike.
And one thing to look out for is those looming shadows we see in the outfield. Cox Mill High School, the baseball field, are kind of in like a bunker almost. So the sun goes down very early behind the big school behind us.
Guarded by a couple hills, as that one bounces well in front of the plate. Lewis wiping his hand off, making sure there's no extra residue to cause the ball to go anywhere he doesn't want it to. So a 2-1 count now on Brandon Butterworth. The center fielder Justin Fox standing on deck. The 2-1 home. It'll be popped up. Standing under it is the second baseman Peyton Schubert, and he will have it for the first out of the inning. So Brandon Butterworth's stat line moves to 0-2, and Justin Fox looks to improve his to 1-2 with a ground out in his first appearance. So almost identical plays from Fox and Butterworth to get the game started. One to third baseman, one to short.
Justin Fox.
And Thad Lewis, some much-needed reinsurance for this Copperheads pitching night, has been spot on so far tonight, allowing that one run, but really that's, you know, your shortstop and second baseman just made a mistake, and you can't do anything if you're the pitcher in that scenario.
3 walks and 1 K so far for Thad Lewis as that ball misses up.
And that's very surprising for Thad Lewis. Obviously a heavy strikeout pitcher coming in this game, 4th in Ks, but only 8 walks coming in on the season. So you know, a lot of these guys with a lot of Ks, but also a lot of walks. But he's able to keep the walks down and have the Ks as well. As you see, this one bounce right back to Lewis, and he will get the second out of the inning very quickly.
Just a little tapper back to the mound. Took 3 or 4 hops before easily collecting it into his glove, flipping over to Kyle Whitaker. So Justin Fox now moves to 0-2 with back-to-back groundouts as the designated hitter James Henson,
The designated hitter, number
in a similar
15,
position that he
James
was in the
Henson.
top of the first, came up with 2 away and nobody on. Ended up getting hit by a pitch. So we'll see how Lewis now adjusts to that. His only hit by pitch so far in the game on the lefty. First pitch is a nice off-speed that clips a part of the plate.
And if you're manager Sean Stevens, you see Thad Lewis working late in the counts early in that first and second inning, but here going very quickly. That's going to pay dividends later in this ball game when he can work later 5th, 6th, 7th inning.
Yeah, and Lewis, the more he kind of finds a rhythm, it feels like the more he speeds up, or it seems like that's how it's gone so far this game.
I mean, a lot of pitchers do that. When you're in a rhythm, you just want to keep pitching, and not stop because you keep throwing strikes in there and getting strikeouts.
The 1-1 home from Lewis is barreled out to right field. Kyrus Dawson chasing back to the wall on it. Going to is Henson as he will stay. Heard something on the live mic. Somebody calling for 2. But Henson with a big rounding of first. He'll end up with a long, loud single.
And Kyrus Dawson, great effort over there in right field, showing off his blistering speed, getting to that baseball. A lot of guys would have to take that and bounce it off the wall and get that easy double, but he just raced that baseball, put it off, get to the wall, and pounded it very quickly.
He was able to corral it just before the warning track, so Dawson saves an extra base hit. So James Henson, for the second time tonight, stands over on first with 2 away as the extra hitter Tyler McPeak looks to bring him around. First pitch home on McPeak is a breaking pitch sent out towards the gap in right center. That ball is going to get down and off the wall. Henson rounding second. He will be held up at third base, and in to second with a stand-up double is Tyler McPeak. So the Spinners getting something rolling here with 2 away.
And a great hit by McPeak. But the one thing is these short pitches, 355 to dead center, 315 to the edges. It's super hard to score a guy from first to home with these short pitches, especially with the arms that these college kids have. You know, high school might have a little different, lesser arms, but all of these guys have great arms in the outfield, and they show why where they're playing D1, D2 baseball.
So the Spinners now, something brewing as the catcher Davis Turner now due up. Turner in his first appearance started the top of the second with a walk.
Yeah, if you're Lewis, obviously don't want to walk him again.
Now
Have a
batting, the
base
catcher,
open.
number 1, Davis
Play with him a little
Turner.
bit. Don't want to give him, some heat right down the middle because obviously going to turn on it, have those 2 runs come in. But you can play with him, have a base open as well.
Back-to-back hits on the breaking pitch now from Lewis, so we'll see how he and Spearman adapt with the pitch selection. So a fresh count and a fresh batter with 2 away, and the first pitch is down low in the dirt.
It's so hard if you're Lewis, just go back there and throw strikes. You got beat up these last 2 batters throwing in strikes, and they hit. You just got to trust your defense behind you and say, hey, I have to throw strikes to get this guy out.
So the 1-0 home is put into play. A diving effort from Schubert cannot be gloved. It'll trickle out into center. 2 runs will come into score for the Spinners as that ball drifted into no man's land. So Hinson and McPeak both come across, and it's a 3-0 lead for Mooresville.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate for number 8, Payne Schubert. Just put his body on the line over there at second base trying to stop that baseball. Just tipped off the edge of that glove, drifted into no man's land, and the Spinners are up 3-0 in this ballgame.
Now batting, number 5, Jeremy Green Jr.
Such a tough situation because if that ball ends up getting into the outfield, only 1 run scores, but because no one was there to glove it and throw it back in time with the hop that it took, 2 easily are able to round for the Spinners.
Yeah, Jeremy Green now up for the Spinners. Hopefully do better than what he did first time. Was struck out by Thad Lewis in his first plate appearance of the night.
The 1-0 Green is a nice breaking pitch that catches the inside part of the plate. And that's the location that Lewis wants on his breaking ball, but past 2 times that he's thrown it and contact was made, both ended up in good situations for the Spinners. The 1-1 home is hit out towards left field. Chasing on will be the left fielder Jackson Taylor, and he can't come up with it. So making his way to third is Davis Turner. Standing over at first will be Jeremy Green, and so the Spinners threatening once again now as they lead at 3-0.
And Jackson Taylor looked like he lost that baseball for a second, then had to rush in. And then me and you were out there in the outfield catching BP early. I think I have a much better appreciation. Sometimes off those bats, you just lose it in the air a couple times and landed right next to me.
So we'll have a brief mound meeting here as the Spinners are seeing Thad Lewis is pitching extremely well to contact. Once again, halfway through the order for the second time for Mooresville and only 2 strikeouts.
That's very uncharacteristic for Thad Lewis. And the thing is, sometimes you're going to throw in strikes and the batters are just going to see you very well. And they're seeing you very well tonight. You just got to trust your defense behind you. Just keep throwing strikes, and eventually it's going to work out.
So our new batter is the right fielder Hunter Bryson as he steps in with men on the corners. So Bryson 2 away. First pitch home is a nice breaking pitch that catches the inside part of the plate, and that's the location that Lewis is looking for. With something that slow, however, when it does get caught out in front of the plate, especially with how good these players are, it's very, very easy to turn on one. Fastball catches the bottom part of the zone. Lewis back-to-back strikes, working quickly on Hunter Bryson, trying to leave 2 stranded.
Yeah, when you're throwing that curveball, you got to be very careful where you're placing it, because if you leave it a little too high or a little too slow, they're going to turn on it.
The 0-2 from Lewis. That one's going to be popped up over towards right field. Kyrus Dawson chasing on it, and he will make the play. So the Spinners get 2 in the top of the third, but end up stranding runners on the corners. They lead it 3-0 as we head into the break. We'll be right back for the bottom of the third as the Lake Norman Copperheads look to make up the deficit. Welcome back to Cox Mill High School. The third baseman, Zach Will, will lead things off for the Lake Norman Copperheads. 2 runs came across in the top of the third for the Spinners. The Copperheads just looking to inch back at that deficit. Early in the ball game still, but don't want that lead to get away from you. The 9, 10, and 1-hole hitters are due up for Lake Norman as the first pitch home to Will is slapped out to left. Tracing back on it and jumping up to make the catch is Trey Putnam. So putting a little extra pizzazz on that one as the wind carrying behind that ball added just a little bit extra spin on it. So Putnam having to make the adjustment, makes a nice play out there and left.
Yeah, great job by Putnam right there. Zach Waters hitting an absolute out there. Putnam just having a little hop, showing off the hops right there. Giddy up and getting after that baseball for the first out of the inning.
So the extra hitter, Andy Schultz, now due up for Lake Norman. The usual backstop for this squad, getting the start at the extra hitter position today. So almost a second leadoff, if you will, with how good he's been this season.
He's been so good. 367 average, 14 walks, 5 RBIs. Just great at drawing walks and great at getting on base in general.
That breaking pitch from Brown looks like it slides more and more every inning that we get to watch it, as that's able to clip the corner for a strike. So the 1-1 count home from Brown. That one misses just inside. Another one of those pitches that you see Turner kind of set up on the outside part of the plate with a fastball in, doesn't have a chance to frame it. So Brown sets from the belt. He'll kick and deliver the 2-1. That breaking pitch didn't have as much movement on it as it'll miss on the inside. So now Schultz in an ever so dangerous 3-1 count. He's not boasting that 500 average like he was earlier in the season, but still some phenomenal numbers put up from the Campbell catcher. The 3-1 is slashed on and fouled over the first base side. That'll land well on the softball field as he caught good contact with that, but just couldn't keep it in fair territory.
And you said not as good average. It's hard to keep up a 500 average in baseball.
Just a bit.
Yeah, still 367. Can't get much better than that.
The 3-2 home. That breaking pitch just misses inside again. That's 3 pitches in this at-bat. The slider or curve, whatever he's got in the arsenal from Brown, just missed on the inside part of the plate. As that now brings up the leadoff batter, Kyrus Dawson. As we're struggling with a little bit of wind out here, so we do apologize.
Got stuff flying all over the place.
Nothing we can do when Mother Nature wants to blow.
And if you don't believe us that the wind is blowing tonight, there's your proof.
You can hear it on the live mic.
Yeah.
Dawson in his first at-bat had a strikeout. He went swinging high on a fastball very similar to that pitch, as that one's fouled off and corralled by Turner for strike 1.
And Andy Schultz is a sneaky catcher, 6 stolen bases this year, so just because he's a catcher doesn't mean he has wheels.
He's got speed. Schultz has some impeccable speed on the base paths, which is almost why he's a fantastic second leadoff. The 0-1 misses outside. Turner looked to intimidate Schultz a little bit, but the ball popped out of the glove before the transfer could be made. So
and the thing with Andy Schultz, is that you know, most catchers you think of these big guys, 6'2", 6'3", big bulky. Andy Schultz is, is not that big of a guy, and that shows with his speed, just 5'10". You think he might actually play third base or left field or something like that. You don't see a lot of catchers with a smaller frame.
So Brown and Turner concerned about Schultz standing on first, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Being the possible first run for the Copperheads, not wanting to let him get to second easily.
And if Andy Schultz scores in this inning, that'd be great for the Copperheads. Just get some momentum back on the board, and this game is really all just runs of momentum in baseball most of the time.
So attention focus back to the plate, and the 1-1 will slide in there for strike 2. Once again, some impeccable movement on that breaking pitch as he found the right spot. Couldn't find it on Schultz, but he found it on Dawson. Sets up 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nick Serino standing on deck for the Copperheads. The 1-2 home is popped and foul off the screen down the first base side. Andy Schultz was heading down to second. He'll be called back as the hit and run was unsuccessful, and they'll try the 1-2 once again. So if you're just joining us once again, my name is David Katzenmeyer. Zane Metz accompanying me so far tonight. It's been a great baseball game so far. The Spinners leading it 3-0 as we are in the bottom of the third. Dawson's going to pop that one up. Schultz has to hit the break as he's going to end up being doubled up. An unfortunate play for the Lake Norman Copperheads, but the Spinners get out of it scot-free on the double play as we will head to the top of the fourth to see if the Spinners can advance their lead here from Cox Mill High School.
And welcome back here for the top of the fourth inning here at Cox Mill High School. Lake Norman Copperheads are
Leading
able
off
to
from
get
the
that extra
Spinners, second
run.
baseman number 3, Dante
Was stranded on
DeFranco.
first base. Andy Schultz got doubled up trying to do a little hit and run attempt. Power Dawson popped out. So the Spinners looking to get that double play and looking to add to their advantage here.
The second baseman, Dante DeFranco, getting things started in the top of the fourth for the Spinners.
Yeah, Franco last time up had that fielder's choice, so looking to do better than what he had last time.
It was the interesting fielder's choice that ended up being an error down on first base that scored the run.
So DeFranco would see that one go by for a strike in his second plate appearance of the night. Thad Lewis back out there once again for Lake Norman. Lewis the man at a 5 for you, but he was, and then he transferred to Darlington Florence, so congratulations to him on his recent commitment to Darlington Florence. And you can see why Darlington Florence really wanted Thad Lewis, been showing it up all this SCBL season, and he's going to be a great addition to that ball club this upcoming spring.
In a big spot here, now down 3-0, have to play damage control.
That one slips out of his hand, and Spearman blocks it up. The count will go to 2-1. Lewis gets the sign from Spearman. Spearman does his best to try to fool the umpire right there, just trying to keep it in the strike zone. The umpire says no, and the count will go to 3-1, so Lewis will have to fight back right here, and does not want to walk the batter to start the inning.
The Spinners have been improving every single inning so far. No runs in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third, so let's see if they can continue that stretch as Lewis gets a strike call in the bottom part of the zone, and the count runs full.
And we talk about that home run derby tonight. If you guys have any predictions for the home run derby, drop them down to below. That coming on at 8 p.m. I think me and you might be tuning in a little bit while we're watching this game as well.
I believe it's already started. If I could be mistaken, but as we sit at 8:16 right now, I'm not sure.
As that one is flied into center field, tracking back towards the wall. And for out one of the inning, tracking back right there was Ivan Zambrano. That was kind of a tricky one. The ones that are most tricky are the ones right behind you, because you can't, turn your body to the left, to the right. You have to track back. You can't backpedal, of course.
Now batting for the Spinners, the third baseman, number 65, Kyle
Murphy.
Murphy.
To get the first out of the inning.
And that's another one where looking over at the flag out in left field, at the time that ball was hit, it was blowing directly out of center. And so that ball has an extra bit of tailwind behind it, so Zambrano having to adjust and make the play.
Yeah, now up for Mooresville is number 65, Kyle Murphy. Murphy first time up. Took first base on a walk. And up here early in this one, this count 1-0. From Lewis. That one right over the second baseman's head and will get in the right center field gap. Harris Dawson charging to this one, throwing it into second base. Can he get the runner? No, he cannot, but a good hustle over there by Harris Dawson. Running so fast his hat was flying off right there. But Kyle Murphy will slide into second base, and a runner will be in scoring position for the 10-hole hitter.
You know, I gotta say, I know I said I want Pujols to do good. I gotta say, just for the hometown sake.
Yeah, batting left fielder, number 33,
just for the home, I mean,
North Carolina guy.
Do play baseball right down the road at Northwest High School,
yeah.
So got to go ahead and say Corey Seager. So was kind of hoping that he would come somewhere in the Reds division with signing and free agency, but fortunately didn't. But
yeah.
Love to see any kind of Corey Seager that we can.
Now up for Lake Norman is number 33, Trey Putnam. Putnam out there in left field tonight. That beautiful pink bat that he has, that pink wood bat. One of the best ones we've seen all this season.
I wanted to mention it in the previous at-bat, but ended up with the ground out before I could say anything.
Stole that one right from you, huh? Seen a lot of these Lake Norman guys with those with those red bats. I haven't seen obviously some of them breaking throughout the season, but those red bats were sharp, especially new.
I'd love to see the spinners come with a little teal bat.
Yeah.
Maybe a little design spinners bat, copy the uniform. I think it'd be sick.
Putnam up in this count 2-0, as he will swing on that one down the left field line and going foul.
So no activity in either bullpen right now.
Yeah.
So Lewis still the obvious choice for the Lake Norman Copperheads, and the spinner still feeling very confident in Graham Brown, and why wouldn't you with the start he's had?
As you mentioned earlier, Grayson Barger is the man that they're more than likely going to after Thad Lewis is done with his night, so it just depends how far he works into this ball game. Lewis will pinch that one and that one into right field. Kyrus Dawson going up to throw, and he bobbles the transfer. So the spinners will get their fourth run of the night right there. As unfortunate from Kyrus Dawson, he threw the baseball before he even had the ball in his glove, tried to throw it in. So he's been so locked down over there in right field, and that would have been a hard throw nonetheless. But Trey Putnam gets an RBI single, and we're back to the top of the order with Brandon Butterworth.
Just tells you how the spinners are rolling right now. Back to the top of a 10-man order in the top of the fourth. Brandon Butterworth, 0-2 so far on the night, looking to get his first hit. Keep the rally going with one away for the spinners.
So Putnam standing over there first, though only one out in the inning. Lewis skies that fastball high.
I gotta run back to the hustle grab truck. How far away is it? My house is right across the street.
So Lewis looking over the runner at first, getting the signs from Spearman. Runner will be going. Putnam going down a second, but that ball is lined down the left field line. Will it stay fair? No, it will not. As Brandon Butterworth put a good rip into that baseball, but just that a little too early on that breaking pitch and pulls it foul.
Just a long, loud foul ball as it took a one hop off the wall. Needed about 10 feet more to the right to stay fair, but spin on that ball hooked it foul.
And that's a blind spot for everybody watching from home. And also hear us as we have those big dugouts blocking our view. And it's just kind of hard, especially with the wall right to my left, seeing some plays down that left field and even the right field line sometimes. So with that foul ball, Butterworth evens up the count at 1-1. Putnam still standing over there at first. That's Lewis goes to check on him.
Took some frustration out on that throw. That one looked just as fast as coming to the plate as it was fired over to Whitaker first.
Whitaker's hand's going to be hurting after that one. Lewis looks over there again. Putnam with a decent-sized lead. Butterworth hits that one over to Ixarino, and they will just be able to get one right there. That's a good call right there. Just no way you could get Butterworth at first base right there. Just getting your one out and obviously get the lead runner.
Yeah, with how speedy Brandon Butterworth is, there was no doubt that he was going to be safe over at first if they're trying to turn two there, but gets the all-in lead runner for the second out. As now the center fielder Justin Fox steps up for the Spinners. 0 for 2 tonight with back-to-back ground outs, one to the shortstop and one to the pitcher Thad Lewis.
Putnam still looming over there at first. Sliding mitt in hand. And that one is low for a ball. What's your opinion on the sliding mitts? I think obviously they're good for the hand, but I've seen some massive ones that are a little too much, I think.
Butterworth couldn't seem to get it on, so he sent it over to the equipment manager.
Yeah.
So the first base coach messing with Brandon Butterworth's stuff over there. So gets the mid on. He was trying to put something extra on top of it and couldn't get it. That one's ripped into right field. Kyrus Dawson looks to be under it, and he makes the play for the third out of the inning.
And that will be all for this inning, so Thad Lewis gets out of another jam, but not before allowing one run in the inning, so the Spinners extend their lead to 4-0. Stick with us here live on the SCBL Baseball YouTube channel. And welcome back here to Cox Mill High School. Nick Sereno, the shortstop tonight for Lake Norman, will lead off the inning. This inning due up for Lake Norman is the shortstop, Nick Sereno. Batting second tonight, the DH, Luke Wood. And then rounding out the three due up this inning is Jackson Taylor, the left fielder. Nick Sereno sees that fastball up near his head, has to duck out of the way. The first time that Nick Sereno was up to bat, he popped out for the second out of the first inning. Back out there on the mound is Graham Brown for the Spinners. 1-0 pitch. And that one low and misses.
How's it going, everybody?
Good. The 2-0. That one's sky high. Couple players tracking back out on that one. Will they get it? Yes, they will. That's the first out of the inning.
What you doing over there, Zane? You doing a little dance, or what you doing?
I was trying to signal to that the mic went out again, so I couldn't hear it anymore.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. There's not a good way to tell somebody that something is live on air. All you can really do is the dance / hand motion. Yeah. So now up for Lake Norman is the DH Luke Wood. Last time that he was up, drew a walk. If you remember last time he drew a walk, it was a great at bat, 8, 9, 10 pitch at bat for Luke Wood. As that one misses for a ball. One 1-0 pitch to Wood. And that is a great breaking pitch right there. Called for a strike. And it's even harder to signal to somebody when the camera's live too. So it's not like you can do too much. I'm kind of in a precarious situation here, David.
We're just having fun out here, man.
As that one runs in and gets Woods, we'll have to shake that one off. But Jackson Taylor will have a 1 runner on base to play with.
You know, the boys in the field get out there and they get to have fun, so why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We'll put on a professional show, but have a little bit of fun in between, you know?
Now batting for Lake Norman, the left fielder, number
Enjoyable time.
15,
Yeah.
Jackson Taylor.
Never pins throwing in here and other antics that have gone on this season.
Oh, the things that the people at home would have seen with the camera on.
Yeah. Too late edition for them, huh? As I
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. As I mentioned, Jackson Taylor up. Taylor red hot, 3 hits and 3 RBIs in his last game. As Luke Wood will be going, and the throw down to second base slips out of the hand of number 1 Davis Turner.
So Copperheads with a great opportunity now, one of the best of the night, to try and get a run in, only 1 away and 1 in scoring position.
Yeah, definitely the best opportunity of the night. We've seen a lot of these Copperheads opportunities have runners in scoring position and runners on base, but with 2 outs in the inning. Unfortunate, had the double play last inning, just other scenarios that haven't worked out, but a great opportunity to get their first run of the night. 1-0 to Taylor. Watches that one inside, and the count even up at 1-1.
Once again, if you got any questions for Zane and I, please drop them in the YouTube live chat. Love to answer any questions or anything you guys have for us.
A 1-1 from Brown. That one low into the dirt. Good job by Turner right there, blocking it up. And keeping from Luke Wood, advancing to third base. Looming on deck for Lake Norman is Jordan Spearman. Spearman in his first at-bat for the Copperheads. Got that single, poked it out to right field, and if he got another single when he steps up, that would probably score a run. 2-1 to Taylor. That one lined right up the middle off the shin of the pitcher. Thrown over to second. Can he get him? What a great play by Brandon Butterworth right there. Off the shin of the pitcher, Graham Brown. I had to read the deflection and fired over there to Green at first base. And a very precarious play right there from Mooresville.
That's fantastic communication, because the second baseman, DeFranco's coming over, and Butterworth says, leave it, let it go, slips under the glove. Butterworth able to collect himself and fire in time.
Now batting the catcher, number 6,
Jordan Spearman steps up with 2 outs in the inning. As we see Luke Wood advancing over there to third base.
Our live mic shows a great time to turn on with the pop of the bat there.
Yeah. That was a loud pop of the bat, and now it's right back off, so. That one goes for a strike, so Spearman down 0-1. Even better when you hear those guys behind the plate there taking the radars and such and just talking to their teammates out, batting or catching or pitching. As that one is going to left field. Will that ball drop? It will not, and will stay. Oh, excuse me. It will be out 3. As I got blindsided right there, as I was mentioning earlier. I thought it was going to be fair as we saw Luke Wood sprinting home, as that was going to be a sac fly of some sort, but it'll be out 3 in the inning, so Jordan Spearman goes down as a pop-out, and the Copperheads unable to get their first run of the afternoon on the board. So stick with us here at Cox Mill High School as we'll have some more SCBL baseball.
Welcome back as we get things started here in the top of the 5th inning. A little bit of chaos going on as the ball gets away from Thad Lewis. A little chaos up here in the booth too as we were working on our stuff with our live mic. It's temporarily down, but hopefully we will have it back up and running for you soon. As looking to get everything adjusted back up in the booth. The designated hitter, James Hinson, at the plate for the Spinners. He was hit by a pitch and singled so far in this one, so sitting 1 for 1 and has found his way on base every time. Thad Lewis back out for his 5th inning of work. Still no commotion in the Copperhead bullpen. Lewis fires the 2-0 home, and it misses on the outside part of the plate. So the count moves 3 balls and no strikes.
We've seen tonight Lewis get down and counts with battle back, but now later in the afternoon, pitch count coming up, arms starting to get tired. We'll see if he will be able to battle back into counts when he gets down early.
And the 3-0 misses low, so a 4-pitch walk to Hinson, and he has now found his way on base 3 times tonight in a great way for the Spinners to lead things off with the extra hitter Tyler McPeak coming up to bat.
Yeah, and if you're James Hinson getting on base 3 times, it's
Yeah,
great,
but
especially 3 different ways. He got hit by a pitch first time, then a single, and then getting a walk right there.
McPeak 1 for 2 with a double. As he comes up for the 3rd time tonight, Lewis with a fresh count will fire the first pitch home, and a 2-seam fastball gets a swing and a miss out of McPeak for the first strike.
If you're Hinson, if you get on base by a drop third strike, is that kind of like the holy cycle? Hit by a pitch, a walk, a drop third, and a single?
He's got to get a reach on error in there somewhere too.
Yeah? All right.
The 0-1 is slapped right into the glove of the 3rd baseman, as almost back in time for a double play was the fire from Zach Will, as down on the hot corner was able to glove it and almost had Hinson down at first base. Either way, a great defensive play from the 3rd baseman, Zach Will.
And they don't call it the hot corner for nothing, as we saw
Yeah,
right
buddy.
there. Always
This catcher,
playing
number
third base,
1,
got to stay on your
Davis
toes, and
Turner.
Zach Will just kind of fending for his life right there. That one straight out his noggin.
So the catcher, Davis Turner, now up to the plate for the Spinners, standing in with 1 man on and 1 away. Lewis fires the first pitch and an off-speed misses low.
You really haven't had to see too much of Spearman behind the plate throwing the ball to second base, and not a lot of guys stealing on him, so it'll be interesting to see. There's only 1 out of the inning, a lot of pitchers to come in this inning if we'll see a steal attempt.
That ball is barreled out towards right center. Dawson chasing on it, can't get it. It'll go all the way to the wall. Rounding second is Hinson. He will be given the wave home. Dawson's throw into second will be cut off and throw to home, and he will be safe. The tag could not be made by Spearman. So Hinson rounds 3rd, digs hard, and slides in safe just outside of the tag, and we'll have an appeal from the Copperheads dugout.
I thought he was out right there. I mean, that was a great throw from the second baseman there. A great rally right there. Kyrus Dawson, second base, and then catcher. And manager Sean Stevens letting the umpire hear his thoughts on that call.
It was very, very close. Obviously, we don't have a good view at it because it's almost 2D for us at that point, but with the best view in the house, our home plate umpire calls him safe. And so the lead extends to 5 for the Spinners. Davis Turner picks up his 3rd RBI on the night with the double.
And manager Stevens was waiting no time to get out there. I think he was halfway through his safe call, and he was already running out to talk with the umpire. And one thing I'm very interested to look at tonight is, with the Spinners up a couple runs now, are they willing to put Grayson Barger in this game? Because obviously have the doubleheader tomorrow. And let's be frankly honest, Copperheads do not have the pitching depth to go late into ball games with a lot of pitchers. So will they go with Mooresville out there, or will they throw Grayson Barger? It'll be a very interesting conversation that the pitching coach and manager Sean Stevens will have to make.
So Wesley Lugg is a pinch hitter into the game for the Mooresville Spinners, coming on to replace Jeremy Green. Green up to this point had a strikeout and a reach on error. In 4 games and 15 at-bats, 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts, sitting with a 133 batting average in SCBL play from Wesley Lugg. Watches that one slide by in the outside batter's box.
And Lugg with a great average so far, 333 average, so you can obviously see why, in a big situation here with a runner on base, why they put him in this position.
So looking to get some performance where Green could not, and Green's running with the dugout could also have an effect on that. Another pitch missing outside of the zone, out of the hand of Thad Lewis. Count now moves 2-0.
Yeah, it's such a collision like that for Green. Can just shake you up for the whole night, just be kind of, just off your game after such an, big moment like that.
So correction, the 3-0 home miss is low. And so getting a walk will be Wesley Lugg. So Lugg in his first at-bat finds his way on.
Now batting the right fielder,
Here's
number
Hunter
19,
Bryson,
Hunter
a goal to
Bryson.
reach for with 2 on and only 1 away. Spinners have scored in every inning so far except for the first. 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now 1 in the fifth. First pitch home to Hunter Bryson, misses outside. The count now stands at 1 ball and no strikes.
And one thing you're mentioning, the only inning that they didn't get a run in is the first inning, so the Spinners just chipping away at this game little by little, run by run.
The 1-0 will clip the elbow pad of Hunter Bryson, so they are now juiced for the Spinners as Dante DeFranco now comes up sitting 0 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, and anywhere you want to get hit, I guess it's that elbow guard. Just take it right off the elbow guard and don't have to feel it. That's why you have it in place.
Now batting the second baseman, number
trip to the
3,
base
Dante
passes.
DeFranco.
He walked back in the second inning. So the second baseman, Dante DeFranco, now with a big opportunity, only 1 away with the bases juiced.
Yeah, DeFranco 0 for 2 on the night, so a big opportunity here to get some RBIs on the stat sheet and just get a hit on the stat sheet for tonight. Lewis delivers the 0-0 pitch, and that one outside. Spearman has to jump to that baseball. You hear the encouragement from his Lake Norman teammates over there, just saying, "Let's go, Thad. Just got to get yourself back into these counts and throw strikes."
So Lewis looking to get out of a precarious position here with only 1 away and the bases loaded. The 1-0 home is swung on and missed. A nicely placed ball on the outside part of the plate gets a swing out of DeFranco, and the count evens up at 1-1. Standing on deck is the third baseman, Kyle Murphy, who's had a very successful night so far tonight, 1 for 1 with a walk. The kick and the delivery, and the 1-1 is fouled off over the screen. Whitaker gave a little bit of chase, but it'll head out of play. So the count will now move 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Thad Lewis, if you're Thad Lewis right now, you got to throw strikes in there. Not a base open, and that's key. Getting up in this count 1 and 2, and only 1 strike away from getting the second out of the inning.
Lewis definitely taking his time here, not working in as quick as a rhythm as we've seen him earlier in this game. The 1-2 home is fouled off, almost corralled by Spearman, but it just clips the top of his glove, so he's not able to hold on to it.
And one thing to note is Grayson Barger is now warming up in that Lake Norman bullpen, as you mentioned earlier. It was prominent that he might come into this game later, and the transfer student right now might get some action later in this ballgame.
So looking to see if Thad can get this through this one and give the last 4 to Barger. Swing and a miss on a foul tip off the handle, so staying alive on another pitch is DeFranco. So we will corral the loose ball, have a little stoppage in play. While we have this little timeout, make sure to go ahead and follow us on social media at SCBL Baseball on Instagram, Twitter, and go ahead and go and subscribe here on YouTube if you enjoy the broadcast and want to catch a few more. We've got a doubleheader coming your way tomorrow as the Copperheads take on the Vipers, so 2 7-inning games. Lots of baseball tomorrow here from the SCBL if you are interested. So as we resume play, the 1-2 is put back up towards the middle. Coming on is Ixarino. He'll tag second. will not throw home, and a run will come in to score. So Davis Turner touches the plate, and the Spinners lead it 6-0.
Yeah, and talk about subscribing to the YouTube channel. Please do, because we have some great broadcasts coming up. Obviously, the doubleheader tomorrow, and then we have the Home Run Derby. Potentially might track out to Moore Park for that, and then the SCBL tournament is going to be a great event at so many different locations, so many different teams, double elimination, so really anything can happen. You can be a 5 seed to win the tournament. So last year, Mooresville Spinners only a 3 seed, ended up winning in their home park. So we're excited to broadcast those games, and might see some baseball games other than here in Concord, North Carolina.
First pitch to our new batter, Kyle Murphy, is fouled off the screen.
0-1.
And I completely agree. So we're going to try to travel and do the best that we can to bring you all the action updated on the SCBL socials, especially here on YouTube. If there's a live game, this is where you can catch it. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikes now on Kyle Murphy, and Lewis now only needing one more to get out of the inning.
One thing I want to throw in there is Kingsman also does a live broadcast on their home game, so make sure to subscribe to the Kingsman YouTube channel as well.
Absolutely.
Keep up with all the SCBL teams. We love seeing other teams doing home broadcasts and be able to show these players off to the world. Swing
and a miss on a ball outside. Thad Lewis sits down Kyle Murphy on 3 straight pitches and strands a pair of runners. Not before Mooresville, however, can grab another. 6-0 is your score as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and we'll see if the Copperheads can strike for the first time tonight from Cox Mill High School. Welcome back as we get things started here in the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher in for the Spinners as number 9, Steven Smith, takes the mound for the first time tonight. First pitch home from Smith is down low in the dirt as Ivan Zambrano starts the count off 1-0.
I just want to say what a great job from Brown, just holding this Copperheads offense to 0 runs in his outing so far tonight, and you can't have much better outing than what Brown did tonight, and that Spinners coaching staff has to be very pleased on what he did, as you can see that single ripped up.
Zambrano made great contact with that one. Didn't get but 6 feet off the ground, but scorches into center field as Ivan Zambrano has a leadoff single, and the Copperheads hope that they can get something rolling.
He's an infielder, but he's pitching.
Now batting, second baseman, number 8, Peyton Schubert.
So Stephen Smith, a two-way player here. Normally see him in the field, however, has a couple pitching appearances. 7 games with a 1.97 ERA. 19 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 13.2 innings pitched. So showing he can get it done both ways for the Spinners as our new batter, Peyton Schubert, swings and fouls one off for the first strike.
He's not only showing they can do it, that's incredible ERA. That's a solid sample size, about 14 innings and a sub-2 ERA. I mean, a lot of guys that pitch every day can't do much better than that.
So Smith, a valuable asset to the Spinners as he looks to keep Mooresville with a 6-0 lead. Schubert in his first at-bat had a strikeout, looking to improve on that number with the man standing over on first. The 0-1 home from Smith is a fastball that misses high. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Quick check over to Zambrano standing on first. Now focus the attention back to home plate. Fastball on the inside, swung on and missed as that one's fouled off the handle against the screen. So Schubert sitting with 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Smith looking for his first out on the mound. Turner laying down the sign. Smith waves off 2 before agreeing to the 3rd. Quick check over to Zambrano. And now he'll fire home. Another ball fouled off on the inside part of the zone. So battling here is Schubert. Seeming to see it well off Smith so far. 3 pitches with contact. So we'll reset and try the 1-2 once again. Smith sets from the belt and delivers. Nice breaking pitch, but just a bit too high. Turner had a phenomenal frame job with that ball coming in with some 12-6 movement.
And that breaking pitch from Smith doesn't look like a position player out there. That's a great breaking pitch.
No, not at all. So the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith fires home, and that one will be a cold strike 3 that clips the outside part of the plate. So back-to-back strikeouts for Peyton Schubert. So he'll head back to the dugout in some frustration. As with 1 away, number 13, Kyle Whitaker, coming up to the plate. The first baseman struck out in his first appearance. They're hoping to get something going.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 13, Kyle Whitaker.
So a quick conversation between our home plate umpire and Davis Turner. As Kyle Whitaker will set and dig in. Another check from Smith over to Zambrano. Now he'll fire home and a big swing and a miss on a fastball. And as like we've said, when Whitaker can square one up, he can send it pretty deep. It's hard to see, however, next to the building and the scoreboard out there, there is a fence to the football field about 20 feet behind it. BP today, Whitaker hit one over that fence. So he pretty much cleared the scoreboard and the building.
That's impressive.
So to say he's got power is an understatement.
Yeah.
So swings on the first pitch and watches one go by for a ball. Evens up at 1-1. Zambrano staying put over at first. Pitch home is fouled off. So Whitaker now down 1-2. On deck for the Copperheads is the 3rd baseman, Zach Will, 0 for 1 tonight, as the Mooresville pitching has been phenomenal. 5 strikeouts from this staff, only allowing 2 hits. 1-2 swung on and missed. There'll be an out at the plate, and the runner will be out in plenty of time at home. It's 3 double plays for the Lake Norman Copperheads tonight, as an unfortunate way to end the inning as Zambrano was on with no outs and finds himself looking for answers down at second base. We'll be back for the top of the 6th inning as Mooresville looks to keep the insurance runs where they are when we come back from Cox Mill High School.
Barger on.
Welcome back as we get things started
Yeah,
in the
man.
top
Let's go to
of the
number
6th
33,
inning.
Trey Putnam.
New pitcher on the mound for the Lake Norman Copperheads, Grayson Barger, excuse me, as he will take over for Thad Lewis. Trey Putnam at the plate for the second time tonight. And joining me in the broadcast booth is AJ Schlemmer.
How's it going, David?
It's been a good night as we see Barger miss on the first pitch that he delivers. So Putnam so far with a ground out and an RBI single. So sitting 1 for 2 on the night, looking to get things rolling in the top of the 6th for Mooresville.
Not Barger.
Who is it?
Not Barger.
It's not Barger.
Who is it?
So correction, we do not have Grayson Barger on the mound.
I was saying he doesn't pitch. Sorry.
I didn't think so.
As Zane is down
I
there.
haven't seen him a ton, but I didn't recall this delivery.
David, Bakes Conley.
Bakes Conley?
Bakes Conley.
So Bakes Conley will be our pitcher on the mound. As we do apologize for the inaccurate information.
It doesn't look like we have a bio on him either. So
New kid.
maybe a new addition.
So either way, Conley in his first at-bat against Putnam here has worked into a 2-2 count. Putnam sporting that nice bright pink bat as the sidearm slinger readies and delivers home. That ball is going to be put out into play in center field. Tracing back is Zambrano, and he is able to make the play near the warning track for the first out of the inning.
So I spent the first portion of this game down in the dugout area, and a big theme with the players was kind of cleaning up after some early game mistakes, trying to keep the pitcher's pitch count down and do their best to not give away some free base runners.
Yeah, batting the shortstop, number 14, Brandon Butterworth.
That's been one of the themes, is that the Spinners, while they do have a good few hits on the night, they've been able to get guys on via the walk, hit by pitch, or in the case of Hinson, about any way that you can think of. So with one away, the new batter is Brandon Butterworth. 0 for 3 on the night, still searching for his first trip to the base paths. as the first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0.
This has not really been a successful night at the plate for a couple of these spinner guys, but for a majority of these guys, they've reached base at least once.
The 1-0 misses just outside, as it's such a very unique delivery from Conley, as he's almost sidearm submarining. But the ball moves very interestingly out of the hands, especially if you're not used to it. Butterworth going to call time. He's got a big smile on his face. So it's one thing to see a slider from the upright position. It's another to see the way it moves from down low. So Conley now. The 2-0 pitch home to Butterworth, and that one misses outside. So 3 straight balls now as Brandon Butterworth looking to walk here with 1 away. Standing on deck is the center fielder Justin Fox, as the Spinners looking to tack on to their 6-0 lead. Butterworth swings at the 3-0. It's a very high pop-up. Above the lights, falling back down and making the play is Peyton Schubert for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for our new pitcher, Conley, as he'll have to go through Justin Fox to find his way back to the dugout. Two groundouts and a flyout lead to an 0 for 3 stat line for Justin Fox, as the center fielder looking to put one in play here and grab first. Copperheads looking for their first scoreless inning since the first inning. First pitch has some beautiful east to west movement on it, as it goes for a strike and clips the outside part of the zone.
Gotta love the delivery of a sidearm pitcher. It's just so unique, and in many ways it's very graceful. That one's actually just going to hit the bag, fielded cleanly for the 3rd and final out.
Kyle Whitaker barehanded that one off the hop to first, and a very easy out, as Brandon Butterworth thought that was going to go foul, but the spin on the ball sends it back into fair territory. The Spinners come up with nothing in the top of the 6th, as we will see what the Copperheads can do in the bottom half of the frame when we come back from Cox Mill High School.
No errors.
Third baseman Zach Will lead us off.
Leading off
the
for Lake
bottom
Norman,
of
the
the
third
6th
baseman,
inning.
number 29, Zach Will.
Stephen Smith back for his 2nd inning of work for the Spinners. as he looks to continue his success against the Copperheads as they still search for their first run. First pitch out of the hand of Smith of the inning goes for a ball. So his breaking pitch having a lot of movement on it, however, still having some trouble locating it as that fastball misses on the outside edge. So 2-0 on the first batter of the bottom of the sixth. Zach Will, so far in this one, 0 for 1 with a flyout. The 2-0 home is down in the dirt, so quickly 3 balls and no strikes on the 9-hole hitter. Standing on deck is the extra hitter, Andy Schultz, as he bats in the 10 spot. Kyrus Dawson sitting in the hole. The 3-0 is watched for ball 4. It was a borderline strike at the top of the zone, but just missed a bit too far up. So Will take his bag down at first base, and the Copperheads for back-to-back innings have their leadoff man on.
Now batting for the Copperheads, the extra hitter, number 18, Andy Schultz.
Detriment of the Copperheads up to this point on offense. They've had a couple situations where leadoff base runners were prevented from scoring because of a double play. So hopefully they can string together a couple hits and prevent another double play here in the 6th.
We've had 3 inning-ending double plays for the Lake Norman Copperheads in only 5 innings of work for them so far.
There have definitely been some opportunities, just not converting thus far.
So Schultz in his first at-bat walked. Now he sits with a 1-1 count after the strike fired in on the outside edge from Smith. So Steven Smith still trying to keep and lower that 1.97 ERA. As the camera goes out, and that'll be a strike on the outside edge. Back-to-back pitches. As we'll spin this around for you for just a moment. At least be
Go to webcam only.
a compensation. So the 1-2 misses low. The count evens up at 2-2.
That's great. That's great.
As now Smith looking in for the 2-2, has his sign. He'll kick and deliver. It's going to be a ground ball over to the first baseman. Hinson now playing in at first, trying to go to second and back to first for 2. But safe down at first base will be Schultz. The runner, Zach Will be out at second base. So almost another double play for the Copperheads, but the speed of Schultz beats out the throw to first. Now up comes the top of the order for the Copperheads. Kyrus Dawson 0 for 2 on the day so far. Hopefully this top of the order.
Now batting the right fielder, number 17, Kyrus Dawson.
For this team who's had a lot of trouble offensively so far.
A strikeout and a pop-out so far from Kyrus Dawson. Hoping the third time through the order will be the good luck charm. Swinging a ground ball over towards DeFranco. He'll flip to second for 1 and fire to first for 2. It'll be the 4th inning-ending double play for the Copperheads through 6 innings, as that has been their downfall so far tonight. 6-0, the Spinners lead as we head to the top of the 7th. We'll be right back with a new camera and some new faces when we come back. then Maine Whitkin. Yeah. Welcome back as Conley back out on the mound for his second inning of work for the Lake Norman Copperheads. Designated hitter James Hinson coming up to bat, as we saw Hinson playing out at first base in the field.
I just made it full screen. I don't think
So second pitch in is a slider that just misses on the outside part of the plate. So the count now sits at 2-0 on Hinson. Hinson's found a way to get on in every single at-bat so far. A hit by pitch, a single, and a walk. So looking to be on 4 out of 4 times tonight.
And then do the count in this one.
So some lightning storms over the horizon. Should not affect us. Next pitch home from Conley is a called strike just on the bottom edge of the plate.
2 of the 4 matchups in the first round of the Home Run Derby are complete. Pete Alonso defeats Ronald Acuna Jr. 20-19, and Julio Rodriguez upsets Corey Seager 32-24.
The 3-0 misses inside, and so Hinson, with back-to-back walks now, has gotten on base every single at-bat, and the Spinners have their leadoff man on, looking to stretch their lead.
Current matchup, Jose Ramirez and Juan Soto.
Now batting, the extra hitter, number
Ramirez with a
29,
number
Tyler
17.
McPeak.
Soto has 13 with 30 seconds in regulation to go.
The extra hitter, Tyler McPeak, digging in from the right side. Sucks to hear Corey Seager out. He was my fan favorite vote. First pitch to McPeak, misses on the outside part of the plate. Or it'll catch the outside part of the plate, excuse me. For strike 1. The 0-1 hole bounces too early down in the dirt. Nice block from Spearman. He's been very active tonight in his first suit up for the Lake Norman Copperheads. 1 man on and nobody out for the Spinners. They lead it 6-0 here from Cox Mill High School, as only going dry in the first
Runner goes.
and the 6th inning, as Hinson will be down at second with a stolen bag on the errant pitch.
Looks like Juan Soto has defeated Jose Ramirez 18-17. That leaves the final matchup of the first round, Albert Pujols and Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber, the 1 seed in the Derby this year.
Hoping Pujols can pull that out. That'd be an awesome upset. 2-1 home is swung on and missed. Just a bit too early was McPeak, so the count will even up 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 1 for 3 on the night for McPeak. That 1 hit being a double. As he'll swing and miss on the 2-2. That'll be strike 3. As Conley sits down McPeak for his second strikeout of the night. And that brings up the catcher, Davis Turner.
Now batting, the catcher, number 1, Davis Turner.
SCBL players been drafted yet?
Not to my awareness so far. Nothing from the Lake Norman Copperheads side. So Davis Turner has been on a tear tonight, as he is 2 for 2 with a walk and 3 RBIs. Those 2 for 2 came on a double and a single. Drove in Hinson his last time up in a very similar situation now, as Conley trying to work around the hot-hitting catcher. First pitch home is a ball just missing on the bottom half of the zone. So 1 ball and no strike on Turner. As temperatures starting to cool down here from Concord, currently sitting at 83 degrees with a nice breeze. Wind is definitely calmed down from what we saw before, as that pitch misses up. So 2-0 sitting on the count, one away. James Hinson standing out at second base. Davis Turner looking to bring him in. Fastball misses on the outside edge of the plate, and the count now runs 3-0. So Conley trying to work around dangerous hitting Turner. As that one clips the outside edge of the zone, nicely located for strike one. Trying to paint the edges here, but not trying to give him anything that he's able to square up on. The difficult task when a guy's seeing the ball so well. Hitters count here with the 3-1. And that ball will be down low. So 2 walks on the night now for Davis Turner as he's reached successfully on all 4 of his plate appearances. As the Spinners now with something brewing in the top of the 7th, and we will have a mound meeting here as Conley looks like his night is done.
31.
This one is the Grayson Barger. This is, if number 31 is correct, then that's the guy.
So we will now have Grayson Barger on the mound. And while we let you watch him warm up, we'll take a quick break here from Cox Mill High School. We'll be right back with the conclusion of the top of the 7th inning here on the SCBL YouTube channel. So Grayson Barger comes in a precarious situation as the Spinners have men lining first and second base with only 1 away. Barger's first pitch home is going to be dropped into short center as the bases will now be juiced as DeFranco put that one in play before I had time to even catch my breath.
That's all you can do if you're Barger. Just induce weak contact. The odds just didn't go his way that time. Now puts him in a pickle in an already 6-0 ball game.
So number 19, the right fielder, Hunter Bryson. 1 out and the base is loaded. First pitch he sees is clobbered out towards left field. That ball is going to be gone over the fence. A grand slam home run from Hunter Bryson as he finds his first hit in a big way off the new pitcher, Grayson Barger, and the Spinners blowing this one open 10-0 now.
There's a reason they're the top team in the standings right now. Taking advantage of every opportunity they can get, regardless of whether they come via hit or walk.
The 7-hole hitter sending one over the short fence here at Cox Mill High School. And while we do have a short fence, that was a no-doubter off the bat. So Barger now has to recollect himself, as now we will have Dante DeFranco up to hit. I believe we had a pinch hitter come in when Barger came into the game. Do apologize for not catching that one sooner. As time will be called, is Spearman recollecting his glove and getting things set. So one away, Spinners lead it 10-0 after the grand slam from Hunter Bryson. First pitch home is a nice breaking pitch that catches an inside part of the plate. Count starts off 0-1. So Barger stepping off the rubber, needing time once again. Trying to collect himself, find a rhythm here. 0-1 home. Is a check swing that went around, so back-to-back strike net calls now. As the count sits, no balls and 2 strikes. So tough for a guy like Barger when you come into the game, the first pitch, that scene just goes for a blue pit. Try to recollect yourself with the bases loaded, and especially with being out of playing competitive ball for a while, being put in such a precarious situation, and then giving up that grand slam can be really hard mentally on a guy. So the first ball is fired in there, and we find ourselves in a 1-2 count. Barger looking for the second out of the inning, and that one's going to be popped up right above us as it hits the roof. Still waiting for a ball to come up in the press box here, as it's possible for one to bounce on the concrete and shoot back up at us, but very unlikely. However, still possible. So unit come very close, however, have not had one come up yet. DeFranco fighting on the 1-2. That one's going to be put into play out towards the right center gap. Dawson coming over. He can't make the play as that ball falls in shallow right. As it's going to be another hit for the Mooresville Spinners. And Barger looking for that elusive first out for his outing.
Yeah, and Dawson was shaded very far over towards the line there. I believe it's Coach
Now batting the third baseman, number
making a lot of
65, Kyle
adjustments all the
Murphy.
time in terms of, especially the outfield, depending on the guy at the plate. But the scouting report did not come in handy there that time, unfortunately, as it drops in for a single.
So Kyle Murphy digs in with 1 away and 1 on. It's the first pitch Barger delivers, misses outside. So 1 count now. Fouled off the screen down towards one of the Spinners photographers. And thankfully, it didn't catch the lens through the screen. As us dealing with photography equipment ourselves, I know that's been a scary thought with the ball coming straight on through the screen, with it not being super tight. The 0-2 home is hit on, and it'll be flipped to second for 1, firing over to first, and it will not be in time. Murphy was able to beat out the throw as he just stuck his bat out there. It results in the lead runner heading back to the dugout. So Barger gets his first out of his outing and the second out of the inning. As now the left fielder, Trey Putnam, back up for the 4th time tonight. So Putnam 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Looking to see if they can get something going with 2 outs, as first pitch delivered from Barger is a strike. Since giving up that grand slam, he's found a bit of a rhythm, as he's been ahead in the count almost every single time. The 0-1 home is slapped over the screen down the third base line. It'll head up onto the access road behind the view. As now quickly 0-2, Barger looking for 1 more strike to get him out of the inning. So 2 away, 1 man on. Brandon Butterworth standing in the on-deck circle if he were to get an opportunity this inning. Off-speed misses just high, as Barger liked the pitch but does not get the call. So he'll set back up from the stretch position and try the 1-2. Fires home, and that one's got some movement on it down in the dirt. Thought about heading over was Murphy. However, thought better as he saw the ball didn't get away from Spearman as much as he thought. Almost had a little slip in the dirt over there.
Lost his footing, but was able to get back to first just in time.
So from 0-2 to 2-2, swung on and lightly fouled. Butterworth coming over, trying to make a play there. Can't get it before it hits the screen. We won't fault him, though. He doesn't have a glove on right now. So the count remains at 2-2. Kyle Murphy standing over on first base. The 2-2 home just misses outside. Another situation where Spearman set on the inside part of the plate. Barger delivers one towards the righty's batter box. Great at bat here from Putnam to move it from 0-2 to 3-2. The payoff pitch from Barger. Runner goes, and that one's going to be put into play, and it will be fair down the left field line. Runner will hold over at third base, as getting it in quickly was Jackson Taylor out there and left. So a nice single from Putnam after working the count from 0-2 to 3-2, finds a way to get on as he finds his second hit of the night, and that brings up Brandon Butterworth. Butterworth has had
Yeah, batting shortstop,
fairly
number 14,
formidable stat line
Brandon
in his eyes
Butterworth.
so far tonight, sitting 0 for 4. And with a guy this caliber, you feel like he's got to be due. 2 outs with runners on the corners. First pitch to Butterworth is down in the dirt. It leaks away from Spearman, but doesn't leave the dirt around the batter's boxes. So 1 ball and no strikes.
No activity in either bullpen right now.
Kyle Murphy stands 90 feet away. The hit and run is unsuccessful with a foul ball off the screen. So having to head back over to first is Putnam. So 1 ball and 1 strike here as the top of the 7th has proven faithful for the Mooresville Spinners. A grand slam off the bat of Hunter Bryson has led to another 4 runs on the board as the Spinners are having some fun in Concord. The 1-1 swung on and missed. A nice fastball on the outside part of the plate gets Butterworth to chase, and the count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once again, another at-bat where Barger, down to his last strike, just needs 1 more to get out of the inning. 2 groundouts, a pop-up, and a fielder's choice to the name of Brandon Butterworth as the shortstop looks to drive in 1 more. Waiting on that breaking pitch is Scott, very high in the air, coming over and attempting to make the play was a second baseman. It'll be unsuccessful. A run will score. As an unfortunate error out in the field as a defensive substitution proves to be unfortunate. As Tanner, who is placed out at second, makes the error. He was put in the game in replacement of Schubert. So he will be batting 7th, however. That error proves costly as Barger now having to restart another at-bat. And with another new at-bat comes another first call strike. So Justin Fox, 0 for 4 tonight. The 2 starting guys in the order have not had too much success, as back-to-back strikes now lead to a quick 0-2 count. 3rd straight at bat now where Barger has had a batter down to their last strike. Runners on the corner with 2 away. The 0-2 home. Just high and outside. Stands Spearman up. He'll give a look back to Brandon Butterworth over on first before firing back to Barger. So we'll reset and try the 1-2. That one misses just outside for a ball. Fox fighting to stay alive, selecting his pitches very well. Barger looking for the elusive strike 3. The 2-2 is fouled over the screen down the first base line. So Barger will get another chance at the 2-2. Trey Putnam standing on third base. Brandon Butterworth standing over on first from the Jake Tanner error. High pop up into the lights with the misjudgment. As the 2-2 comes home, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Barger gets a strikeout and gets strike 3, but not before the Spinners put up a 5-spot in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 7th inning when we come back from Cox Mill High School.
Sereno.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cox Mill High School now for the bottom of the 7th inning. And it looks like run rule may be in effect here. We believe the rule is 10 runs after 7 innings. And if the Copperheads fail to score here, as that one sent deep out to center, it's going to be caught on the warning track by Justin Fox for the first out. Sereno is retired on 1 pitch. But if the Copperheads fail to score 2 this inning, that would be the ball game after 7 for the run rule. As that will now bring up Luke Wood. Has reached base at least once with a walk in the first inning. As Steven Smith looks to close out the game. The first pitch he throws misses inside for ball 1. The 1-0 comes in, strike 1, 1-1. Pujols and Schwarber went to a swing-off where Pujols just hit 7, increasing his home run by 50%, and that one's going to be sent out to deep right center field. It's going to bounce off the wall on 2 hops, and it is going to be a stand-up double for Luke Wood. So that now represents the mercy-avoiding rule at home plate. So Schwarber now needs 7 home runs in 1 minute, to tie Pools.
Now batting for Lake Norman, the left fielder, number 15, Jackson Taylor.
Only the third hit of the night for the Copperheads. First extra base hit, and the first time they've had a man standing on second. It feels like a while as these double plays have plagued them.
First pitch there to Taylor, misses inside, ball 1.
Jackson Taylor with a strikeout looking in his first at-bat. Looking to drive in. Luke Wood standing out on second.
Misses again on the inside, now 2-0.
The lefty against the Spinners. It was a very difficult out in the first game these guys played at Cox Mill High School a couple days ago. Today has been the opposite story for all Spinners pitching staff.
Misses again, 3-0. And with that, Albert Pujols has eliminated 1 seed, Kyle Schwarber. He will advance to the second round.
My dream pick is still alive.
That one sent foul down the right field line. The 3-0 moves to 3-1. 20-19 as Schwarber bows down to Pujols in foul ground at Dodger Stadium.
Something to note so far, Mooresville pitching staff has only given up 3 walks to 6 strikeouts. So doubling the strikeouts for the walks that they have given up has been a huge success to keeping the Copperheads at 0.
Three and 1 sent back into the screen. We'll move to full 3-2.
While it hasn't been the most competitive game, it's definitely been a fun night out here at Cox Mill High School.
Yeah, and a couple members of the SCBL media team are down in the Copperheads dugout doing some player mic-ups, so I'm sure we'll see that either on YouTube or Instagram very soon. That is sure to be some fun content regardless of the outcome of this game. As that is their strike 3 swinging as Stephen Smith comes back from a 3-0 count to get the second of 3 he needs to close this one out in the 7th.
The last man standing up to bat for the Copperheads will
That batting, number 6, Jordan Spearman.
Started things out today with a single, followed up with a pop out, so sitting 1 for 2. Hoping to bring in Luke Wood standing on second.
That one's going to miss foul. First of 3 strikes needed by Smith.
So Smith once again showing why he was not only selected to the SCBL team to play in the Southeast Prospect Showcase, but showing why he's sporting at 1.9 ERA.
That one misses high, 1-1. Spearman evens the count.
A win tonight for the Spinners would all but solidify them as the number 1 seed unless something catastrophic in the standings happens.
That strike 2 called. The Copperheads prematurely down to their final strike here in the 7th. As the mercy avoiding run still stands at home plate. Strike 3 swinging. Stephen Smith closes it out. I think 3 good innings of work there for him, and the Spinners end this one 11-0. A team shutout victory for the Spinners as this one ends via the mercy rule.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight here from Cox Mill High School, as we have had a phenomenal time bringing this game to you, and we thank you for joining us live on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow with a doubleheader as the Vipers travel to Cox Mill High School in 2 7-inning games. As for myself, David Katzenmeyer, AJ Schlemmer, Zane Metz, and the rest of the SCBL broadcast crew, we thank you once again so much for tuning in and spending your evening with us, and we hope you have a phenomenal rest of the night.